Lord Son here now say introduce vibes. You can also call me Lee. And today we'll be reacting to a great video by the Iron Snail. And it's about Jamaica. Why Jamaica is obsessed with a World War II boot. We get into it.
Boots that men smuggled into Jamaica via coffins, but they are also pretty blatant copies of the boot of Africa. This is the veldtschoen, or the felly. I hope I'm saying that correct. Yes, it does look like the veldtschoen, or the felly, but it has its own design language. You can see that when you're looking at this boot. And if you like that design language and you find the boot striking, you know who you should thank? The Quaker religion, because Clark's has a very deep history with the Quaker religion, and this is a Quaker boot if I ever did see one. And now, Jamaica.
Wait. See, I tell me say boot how we are wear for all this time. For all this time, you know. I borrowed goods and a thief him and them thief it. Sound quite Jamaican to me, cause
look at this concert, absolutely packed. See that man performing right there? That is Vibes Cartel, and he is performing his hit song, Clark's.
well, boss. Okay, what you about to say?
Obviously, I couldn't afford the licensing fee, so I was gonna put the song in the video, then I scrapped it.
Fuck!
I told Holly, which was a mistake, and now she's insisting that a video would be better if there was a little tiny bit of the song in. So we have this much to play with. Holly will use it at her will.
Yeah, I understand.
That song is completely about Clark's. Clark's in the summer, Clark's in the winter. The leather hard, the suede is soft. Toothbrush helps get the dust off. It's a great song. And you're probably thinking what I originally thought. That's not a big deal. We have songs about footwear in the US too. Air Force Ones with Millie, apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, with the is it 3-6 Mafia?
Dog, apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. That's T-Pain, bro. Come on, man. If you know that, you know, cause you come from over motherland over the American, you know. Is it?
Flow Rider. Wow, 3-6 Mafia is probably.
Me bum buckle up, me wrong your fuck. I was Florida. Mighty word.
Looking to kill me now. You're probably thinking, yeah, no big deal. You're totally wrong, because there is not one song about Clark's in Jamaica. There are hundreds of songs. Vibes Cartels now is the most famous because it's an absolute banger, but it's one of hundreds. Clark's makes videos about the relationship with Jamaica. They invest in Jamaican infrastructure. They make custom Jamaican marketed dance hall Clark's. In fact, there is an entire book on Clark's in Jamaica. I think it's called Clark's in Jamaica. This is also the footwear worn by the original rude boys of Jamaica. The rude boy culture started walking in these boots. What I'm trying to say is there is nothing like the relationship between Jamaica and Clark's. I thought maybe blue jeans in the USA, kinda, but not like this. Nothing is like this. You probably named something that I never thought of, but still, from what I can tell, there's nothing like this. To really understand the craze, we need to understand the footwear. And we can't understand the footwear if we don't talk about Africa. Nathan Clark basically took an African hunting boot, and then Jamaica made it into the greatest dance boot of all time.
Chat, we learned something tonight, chat. We learned something tonight. We'll increase our knowledge base so that we don't seem dunce. Oh my god, we're learning so much tonight. Anywho, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please support the original video by the Iron Snail. Please watch it. Tell him say I'm son.
This is a veldtschoen, or a felly. I'm going to say felly because I'm probably not saying veldtschoen correctly, but that translates to...
Let me give it a chance. Veldtschoen. Velly. Veldtschoen. Velly. Veldtschoen. It's a veldtschoen. Veldtschoen. Yeah, that not really roll off the tongue like a Clark's. You have a variety of Clark's, you know. You got the bank crab on them. Is it? You have the desert. And one of my personal favorites. What the next one name again? Shit. Bank crabber, desert. Shit, why last one name again, man? Fuck! I have a pair right now, you know, I don't even remember the name, man. I don't even remember the name, right, dog. Like, this is atrocious. Mighty God.
Directly to, or it's slang, for field shoe. Now, the felly was a massive relief for British soldiers. I think specifically it was for British officers.
No, like, them they look clean, though, like, differently. Look on the... Buckle out, they look clean as fuck. But I wear one.
There's humongous relief when they toss these bad boys on their feet. Why? They were in places like Africa and Myanmar, and it was insanely hot. It was like 97,000 degrees outside, and they're wearing these giant British ammo boots. Boom! Here's some footwear designed specifically for the desert, for very, very hot places. Eureka! All of a sudden, way more comfortable. Nathan Clark sees that, and it's like, oh, okie dokie. So we know that the Felly is a near perfect boot. But what makes it near perfect? What is so special about this that no other boot was doing at the time? The hint? Simplicity. Also this bug. Also, since we had this really nice mushroom stand, we're talking about an upgraded Clarks later, just to show, I think this is what Clarks used to be like. I think this is why people get upset with modern day Clarks. First thing we'll do is go over an authentic Felly, and then we'll see what Nathan Clark did to his version of the Felly and how it changed things forever. Suede? Are you crazy using nice suede on the South African? First thing we'll do is go over an authentic...
Oh my god, man, I just remember the name, mate. Walla Bay, bro. You have desert, punk rubber. Walla Bay, cuz those are like some of the most known Clarks variations here. But me can fully believe, say, yo, a thief in goods now. White man so going on in Africa and say, money running, cuz. And like, how it even relate in Jamaica now? Let me hear what cuz I say.
Felly, and then we'll see what Nathan Clark did to his version of the Felly and how it changed things forever. Suede? Are you crazy using nice suede on the South African bush? Not suede. Well, suede. Suede has a little bit of a bad reputation because there's, some people say suede is when the shiny side of the leather is on the inside and the rough part is on the outside. Other people, when they say suede, they mean they split the leather in half and only the rough side on this side is left and the rough side on that side is left. It's very confusing and it's hard to actually nail down what a brand is talking about unless they specifically say what it is, but now brands say rough out to indicate that it's basically the full piece of leather flipped. And rough out or reverse leather, whatever you want to call it, incredibly tough, incredibly scratch resistant. If you're going through the African bush, you want something that can handle briars or really, really tough stuff, look new, and hold up to it. And then we have stitch down construction. Very, very simple construction. This upper leather flanges out over the outsole right here, as you can see, and then it's just stitched down. It's stitched to this little black line. The midsole, the outsole is here. Bing, bang, boom. Very simple. Simplicity is great. We all know that. People always say to me, Michael,
damn, shoe anatomy in a video about white Jamaica is obsessed with Clarks? Who would have believe? So much educational value, man. Jeez, man. Jeez. But me, I wonder when we'll get into the history. Come on. How long you gonna lollygag, bro?
you're a very simple man. Stitch down construction is also very resistant to the elements, which is a huge plus, and it's cheap to do because you're not adding a whole bunch of other parts on the inside. Flange it out, sew it down, done. Then we have my favorite part of Clark's Desert Boot.
Jokes aside, this video is great, alright? It's great so far. It's so great so far. Like, whenever they even know all of them shit about class, when you just get them, put them on my foot, go about my business. Whenever they know that there was different types, people that have this different opinions on what is suede and from what is not suede. We already have an idea about it, the stitch down thing, but whenever they didn't know there was a proper name for it, in.
And its homages, crepe, but you notice it's strikingly not there on the Jim Green Fellies, and if you've ever worn crepe, you know why. It's not on the actual working Felly that's made for the bush and stuff like that. I really, really love crepe rubber. I just find it so beautiful and natural because that's exactly what it is. It's about as natural of a rubber as you can possibly get. You essentially get the rubber from the rubber tree, or I guess the latex from a rubber tree, you coagulate it with acid into these big, gross-looking ball things, and then you roll it really skinny. That's it. That's crepe. If you look closely, see how this isn't one piece of rubber? There's a little split right here. It's two sheets of crepe stacked on top of each other. Crepe is really soft and beautiful, but it's not good near chemicals. It's not good in really, really harsh temperature variations. It's not as tough in general. And
that's why some men put them clocks in a fridge. Especially when they make out that, as we say in Jamaica, cheese. Them man say a rubber, but my name in the streets, as we know, that's the cheese, cause
you will fall on your butt eventually if you are wearing crepe. So be careful out there. Enjoy your beautiful crepe, but just know that it was not originally meant for asphalt and slick concrete surfaces and floors and stuff like that. It was meant for the great outdoors. And then we get to the midsole, this little light line right here, and the insole, the inside of the boot, which this is where it gets a little controversial with Clarks. Before we get to the comment section where all of you are going to say, sucks that the quality's not like it used to be, let's get quakey.
Oh no. Oh no. 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 No, 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 no. Commercial break. Why? You just have to just don't ask me why my ads are Dutch. None of your business. Don't worry about that.
Before we get to the comment section where all of you are going to say sucks that the quality's not like it used to be, let's get quaky. What a beautiful day. Oh, are we recording? Hi.
Oh
John
no,
David
no, no,
Williamson,
no, no, no,
announcer.
no, no, no. No, no, no. Thank
True,
you.
that's a lie. Blew
Thank
my
you.
mind. Is that legal? I'm surprised the Quakers haven't been litigious about this. That being said, the man who named his company
Big up
Quaker
Quakers.
Oats named
Well,
it Quaker.
big up Quaker Oats. But I cannot sit through 3 different ads in one video, cause no, thank you.
Oats because the Quakers had such a good reputation. So by looking up Quaker Oats, it actually does tell us about Clark's Quaker roots. And I quote, according to some accounts, Quaker mill partner Henry Seymour came up with the brand name after discovering an encyclopedia article about Quakers. He stated that the qualities describing Quakers, such as integrity, honesty, and purity, were traits that he wanted customers to associate.
Mighty God, like what Quakers have to do with Oats and Clarks and wait, wait, what? Hold on. I go make bro cook. I make bro cook. I just 7 minutes so far. I have 7 more minutes to go. Make me let me just let him cook.
With a company's product. Quakers are often seen as embodying a blend of seriousness and generosity, simplicity, and social engagement. Boom! Clark's. Clark's has really strong Quaker roots. It's still on their website. They still do a lot of Quaker principle things, like they really support the communities. They also are a community-founded company. None of that's really important besides the simplicity factor of Clark's. And that is how we get to the design. The Philly caught Nathan's eye because it's so simple and so effective. It's about as simple of a shoe as you could possibly make, but you could still make it simpler. Bring in the desert boot. All we're doing here is saying, how can we...
Hold on, brother. Hold on. I'm gonna just Google that real quick. I can't believe. Hold on. I'm gonna Google that shit real quick. Cause like, I need to reassure myself on that. Is Clark's a Quaker brand? Bucklad. A real talk. Father God. So all this time we are what's bro? Oh God. Mighty word. Wow. Damn. Founded by the two Quaker brothers, Cyrus and James Clark. Damn. Well, shit. You learn something new every day, yeah, man. Sure.
How can we keep the functionality of the Felly, but take away what we don't need? So instead of 3 eyelets, how about we do 2? Instead of folding things or adding reinforcements or anything like that, let's make it one piece of leather right here and another piece of leather right here. Keep everything very, very simple as you possibly can, and use high quality materials. That is it. And what that does is make a really high quality but simple boot. And it's so simple that it becomes striking. You see that it's simple. There's something special about that. Right, so a lot of you suspect foul play when it comes to modern day Clark's quality. I can see why you would think that. Look at this. It was very hard to do, but I found a pretty authenticated 1980s Clark desert boot. The only problem with our comparison is that this is a Goodyear well.
Nah lie. For something so old and so vintage, the thing looks sexy as fuck. Nah lie. Me don't wear that shit. You catch me jeans and all that. You see it? Black jeans specifically, or even blue jeans, a white tee. The next thing straight jeans unfitted. A t-shirt we did it. Rock them shits to the limit. Uptown, downtown. Seems so we would do it. Oh, bumbuckler.
So it's constructed differently, but I think they would use very similar components, so it should be okay. Leather quality, a modern day Clark, still pretty good. Feels good, nice and thick. I like it a lot. But old Clark's, 0.5 millimeter thicker. And then we have crepe, one of the most fascinating findings. On this boot, using a durometer, we found that it was 40 to 45 Shore A in hardness. But on these fancy boots that are $10 more that come with this little tab thing, this crepe is 30 Shore A. It is like goo. It is so very soft. Then, and we have to account that maybe this got harder over time, but this crepe is 50 Shore A. which is much, much harder. It's still soft, it still feels gummy, but significantly harder, so it should be more durable over time on the old boot. And this little lighter line right here, that is the midsole of the boot. Not that thick, and this is fiberboard, so it's not just straight leather, it's like all crumbled up, glued together leather. Look at this, kind of hard to see because it's Goodyear welted, so we have the welt leather here that kind of distracts from it, but I'll put
I know that it just all remind me say yo them cheese yeah. I man I thought boy not good for walk on asphalt. I don't lie dog. That shit used to burn off, you know, my lord. I walk. Remember, I used to me. Don't forget read three person, but if you just give you a little bit of information. My bro, me used to walk that town in my clocks boot, bro. And by the time the school year done, the thing rubber flat because I be at asphalt you step on. Where whenever he's supposed to even walking at him. Oh shit, my foot, my screen gone again. Anyway, gone back. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not supposed to start walking out. You're not supposed to start walk for asphalt. So they rub off that butt off. Cause clearly you never make for that shit, bro. And someone will walk by to me. Used to walk by the fuck. Like the back of the sole used to lopsided, yo. If you know, you know.
welt leather here that kind of distracts from it, but I'll put my finger. Look what's under my finger. It's kind of tough to see, but it looks like 2 layers of fully stacked leather midsole. So it's much thicker, much stiffer. The insole here appears to be thick natural leather. The insole here does not. It's a little thinner, and I think it has a little cushioning on the bottom, but definitely thinner. This is not the best sample size. We have one boot that doesn't use the exact same construction. So there could be variables, but looking at this pair on eBay that the guy's trying to sell for like $8,000, the leather looks thicker and the midsole also.
Alright. So basically what I'm getting what I'm understanding from my man is that yo, the reason why it's so popular out here because these shoes can withstand the weather of of the Caribbean. You know, I think the place hot sun out 24/7, 48/11 all year round, and we need a shoe that can stand up to them heights there of heat and pressure and all them niceness there. So the Clarks boot is the best choice out here locally, and it's been a local, right? Local, local local, what do you call it? But they're part of the culture for so long that everybody been used to clocks, been no clocks, like clocks, love clocks, rotate Alize. But all of them thing, you know, me I learn is good information, you know. But it not change the price of rice, you know. We just still love clocks and them.
Looks thicker, vintage
But
ads looks thicker.
but you
Anyways,
know, but not bad for now. Not bad for now.
well, that contributes theoretically to why people say modern day Clarks feel different. They don't necessarily say they break down faster, but they feel different. And that would be because the insole is not as thick, the midsole is not as thick, the leather is not as thick, and the crepe is softer. But remember the midsole I was talking about?
If you're a shoes geek, you're gonna really love them parts, you see. But me, I'm really more into the aesthetic, like, bro, like how it feel on your foot. You see, me personally, I kind of like it when my clocks and my sock on, my toe them, make it feel like, say, yo, every single walk, my cramp up. Me I feel everything. But you know, with clocks over time, the clocks them they do expand due to the fact that the heat and so on. So, and you know, say, yo, with the heat, with certain level, like certain material, like leather, it's gonna eventually expand over time. So that's why most Jamaicans they get the clocks a bit smaller than the natural foot size. So let's say I'm like a size 9. Right, me I go wear a 7. It a bite me toe them, yes. That burn me on me a walk, yes. But who gives a fuck? Because eventually it gonna expand and it'll become a size. That's why you never ever see people that wear clocks that is like bigger than them normal size. Because they're gonna look like by the time the leather expand, you're gonna look like you wear clown shoes.
This Clark's old one, about 2 times thicker. Guess what? The Astroflex midsole is about 2 times thicker than modern Clark's. The leather thickness is about the same. The crepe hardness is about the same. The insole thickness I couldn't measure, but I'm assuming it's about the same. It also has.
Alright, Buddy's having a hard on right now about the make of the shoes. Wonderful. Chef's kiss. But how this correlate with Jamaica, bro? Let me see if I can skim through to see if there's any information here about Jamaica. Oh, there it is. Boop. Ah, the arbitrary ad. Lovely.
And that didn't necessarily happen. There was overcrowding, high unemployment, a lot of restlessness in general, and a lot of people were like, you know what? Screw this system. And those people, those young men, kind of rude to the system, the general system at B. They were rude boys. Nowadays, the term rude boy is pretty iconic. It's in a Rihanna song. It's probably in Drake's song. It's in, what's that song I really like? Oh man, Rude Boy, one of the most iconic cultural things of all time. Everybody knows about the Rude Boy.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. As to how you correlate with Jamaica. Thank you. Thank you so much. You see what going when you just skip out some of the fluff in one video? Cause this man I thought about house. Me know say cause I'm sexy, but me not think about it so deep father.
This was the birth of the Rude Boy, this civil unrest. And the Rude Boy of the 60s and 70s had a very particular way of dressing. It was showing pride, respect to themselves, and like, yes, I can dress amazingly, even though I was not dealt the best hand. So, picture this. It's 1965, you're a Rude Boy, you're going to look for a pair of footwear. You want to be different. You don't want a classic dress shoe.
Yes, remember. It's a local staple. It's a local staple to our aesthetic, our vibe, due to the fact that the rude boy them used to wear cause them want look like smarty father.
That you want it to stand out right away. You see this strikingly simple design, definitely not a dress shoe, has something different going on, and it's expensive and made in England. Check. At a practical level, though, you could probably say rough out, but this is full grain suede. It's very, very tough. It's resistant to abrasion and scratches, aka it looks new for a very, very long time. And at the same time, you're a young man rebelling against the system, running around Jamaica all day, aka you're on your feet all the time. So when you squish this bottom, wow, certainly doesn't feel like leather. I bet that's going to be mega comfortable. The music scene also exists, and obviously these young men are the people that are also making music. So what do they say in their songs? Hey, put your Clarks in the air while you're dancing and wave them like you just don't care.
Nobody has ever said that before in a dance. I've never said before. Buckle boom the DJ. Yo, kick the man out, kick the DJ out of the party. Take him off his sound, brother. Get rid of him. Throw him over in a gully.
Bunch of young men running around going to dances trying to meet women, and women are like, what are those are cool. And then the guy next to him is like, she likes those shoes, if I get them she'll like me. Bing bang boom, they start to grow a lot in the culture. But there is one thing that strikes the match and explodes the culture into society. The police are the answer. There's all these young dudes running around in beautiful suits and very fancy footwear, and the police are like, okay, how on earth did you get all that nice stuff? You must be bad. Boom! Standing out, society, that's a bad boy. Look at that guy, that's a rebel. Keyword, rebel. Clark's originally was a proper dress shoe.
So wait, say man them move from proper dress shoes, you see me? And due to classism, the government and the police free the man and say, yo, them boy I must see a thief forget this, you know. Them boy are a criminal, you know. Man, them brandish them as gunman, bro. Yo, typical Jamaica, dog.
Fancy, nice company. All of a sudden, they come out with a war boot, and they advertise it as, hey, some dude fought in war, found this boot, and took it home. Yeah, that's rebellion. I'm a fighter. These also look sick. I love them. I'm going to wear them all the time. You're looking at the symbol of rebellion in Jamaica via footwear. Kind of similar to what the U.S.
Yeah, if you have somebody who love class, just say, yo, yeah, bad no bumbo. Yeah, man. Yeah, at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. You see it. Remember for always like, comment, and subscribe, follow. If you're new, you've seen me here before. You might not see me again, so just follow. Subscribe. It's free. Thanks for watching. Please support the official release.